Hey guys, Mrs. Traver here. We're going to work through section 5.4, which is point slope form. So this is the second of our three different linear formats. Point slope form is one where we can read off the point and the slope. It is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Our m is the same familiar m that we had from our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So our m is still our slope. But now what we have is a little bit different. We have this extra x and extra y. We actually have the point x1, y1, which is a point on the line. So what's different here is that the numbers that are plugged in are x1, y1, and m. And then the plane x and y will stay as x and y in our final equation. So the most common mistake I see is that you go to plug things in and you plug it into the wrong xy. So let's start off with the first one here. So if I was given the point and the slope, I just simply have to plug everything in. So this point is x1, y1, and there's our m. So I just need to plug it in my equation. Y minus y1, so y1 was negative, so it's y minus -3 equals m, which is 2, times the quantity x minus x1, which was 4. So notice I'm going to make a big point about it. This minus was from our equation. This negative was from our number in our coordinate. The last thing I would do is simplify anywhere you have a double negative like this. But other than that, you're pretty much all set. So our final answer, y plus 3 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 4. The next example is if we're given something different. Say instead of given the point and the slope, we're given 2 points. So on this one, we know we need point and slope. We've got 2 points to choose from, so we're good there, but we don't have the slope yet. Let's go find our slope with our slope formula. So let's do m equals change in y. So 8 minus 4 on the top. And change in x on the bottom. So 5 minus -1 on the bottom. Our top is 4. Our bottom is 6. And we can reduce because 2 fits into both of these. So we've got 2/3 as our slope. So now we do have our slope, and we have 2 different points to choose from. It does not matter which one we pick. Just plug in. So I could have 2 different answers here. If I used my first one, I could use y minus y1 is 4 equals m 2/3 times the quantity x minus x1. So x minus -1, that'll turn into x plus 1. Or if you use the other point, I could have had y minus y1, which is 8, equals m 2/3 times the quantity x minus x1, which x1 was 5, so x minus 5. So either of these is okay depending on which point you picked, and it doesn't matter. Let's do one more of those kind. All right, so let's say we're given a point and the intercept. Let's not be fooled here. We are actually looking at 2 examples here and here that are very similar to each other. Remind yourself that the intercept, the y-intercept I should say, the y-intercept is actually a point. This is the point on the y-axis, so it's always going to have an x-coordinate of 0. This is really the point 0, 2. So you would work through this one the same as the one above. Find the slope first, and then pick one of your 2 points to plug in. So go ahead and pause your screen now, and go ahead and check with mine in a moment. So go ahead and pause now. All right, check yours with mine. Here are my 2 answers. This is if I used the 0.56, and this is if I used the 0.02. If I rewrote this and got rid of the 0, it'd be 4/5 x, but then it doesn't really look like point slope form, so I left it like that. Let's do a little bit of graphing, and then we'll be all set. All right, so let's graph from point slope form. We were given y minus 3 equals 1/3 times the quantity x plus 2. So our method here is number 1, graph our point. x1, y1. So this is where it gets a little weird. x1 is right here. So this came from the equation x minus x1. So if negative x1 is positive 2, positive x is negative 2. That sounded weird. Let me rewrite the equation over here. So because negative x1 is positive 2, positive x is negative 2. So I've got the point 2, but it's negative. And then my y1 was right here, minus y1 is minus 3. So negative y1 is negative 3. So positive y is positive 3. So I need to plot the point negative 2, positive 3. There's that point. From there, I can use my rise over run to plot my next point. So use my rise over run to graph it. So let's make this be a negative so I give myself some more room. So down 1, right 3. And that's everything I need to make my line. Make sure to throw some arrows on either side and extend it out to the edges of the screen. And you'll be all set there. We'll do one more example where I give you a graph and then we'll be all set. All right, so last one, I have given you the graph and we're gonna write it in point slope form. So I need the point, I need any point, and the slope. I have lots of points to choose from. It does not matter which I choose. Let's say I choose this one right here, which is 1, 2. So we can use that. And then we need to find our slope. So pick any 2 points and then count the rise and run. If I pick these 2 points, my rise was 1, 2, and my run was 1, and it was negative. So my m is negative 2 over 1, or just negative 2. So I can just plug those guys in. Y minus y1, which was 2, so y minus 2, equals m, which was negative 2, times the quantity, x minus x1, which x1 was 1, so x minus 1. And again, I could pick any of these points. I bolded in quite a few of them for us, so any point that you want to pick would totally work for these types. Other than that, though, we're all set. Our next notes will be on standard form.